without any problems. Okay, looks like we're doing good. Um, awesome. Okay, so let's move on to our next slide. Um, right. Okay, good. Now I can see myself this time. I wonder why I couldn't before. Very weird. Okay, so let's move on to our next slide. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right in to Unit 3, Friends and Family. Okay, now the page that you guys should be looking at should look something like this if you have the level, I'm sorry, if you have the Ventures, um, this is the second edition. Okay, if you have the second edition, it should look like that. If you have the third edition, it will look like, does it look the same? Let's see. Okay, yeah, the third edition looks the same. So we're going to be talking about friends and family, right? And these are the people who are in your life, right? So with our friends and family, who are some of the people who are in our lives? For me, as you can see right here, this is my family. This is my awesome husband, Eric. This is my awesome son. He's my youngest. This is Jordan. This, of course, is moi, me. And this is my oldest son, Eric Jr., but we call him Sonny. Some of you have already met him. I think you might have met both of them. Um, and of course, some of you also have met my husband. So this is my what we call an immediate family, right? Your husband, your wife, your children, these are your family. So if we look on page 32, let's look on page 32 and let's look at this picture right here and let's talk about what we see, right? Let's talk about what we're seeing on this picture on page 32. Aside from the people, we see, uh, you know, a chair. The father's in a recliner. We see grandfather sitting at the table eating. We've got a bed. We've got lamps. So there are lots of really fun vocabulary words in here. Gotta love the fun vocabulary words, right? But when we're talking about family, let's talk a little bit about the people that we see here, right? Um, who are some of the people that we see? What are some names that we see here in the book? In our top left, in our top left, right here, who's this? Yeah, that's Carlos, right? And then who's this? Luisa. Yep. And then who's this? Got Juan, got Maria, we've got Anna, and we've got Hector, right? And I'm so sorry. I hope my glasses aren't creating havoc for you guys, but I can't hardly see without them. Well, I can't hardly read without them, so unfortunately, I have to keep them on. But so we see here we have a family, right? And let's talk about some words that we associate with family. If we look up here, we see mother, and it would be great if you could repeat after me as well. Okay, mother, father, daughter, son, grandmother, grandfather, right? So these are some of our family members. If you look over here, we see some other, oh, I did it again. So sorry. Let me go back to slide 7. Okay. We've got brother. Let me pull out a pointer. Brother. Repeat after me. Brother. daughter, father, grandfather, grandmother, husband, mother, sister, son, wife. Sometimes in these books they forget to put wife, but since I'm a wife, I thought for sure that I would put it in there. Don't want to forget that. Okay? And in this scenario, who's this guy? Who's he? That's right, that's my husband. That would make me what? I think I have like a couple of different titles here. Here I am both wife and mother. Here he is both husband and father. And this guy right here would be what? Son. That's right. And this guy right here would be son. That's right. Okay. Okay. So if we go back to this picture over here and or this page, let's look at these pictures, right? So we've got Juan. If we look at Juan, what part of the family do you think Juan is? What part of the family is Juan? Which one? Grandfather. That's right. Juan looks a little bit older, right? So he looks like he's the grandfather. Then we've got Maria here. She's cooking. Um, we've got Anna, who's sitting and watching TV. And she looks like she's a little bit older. And then we've got Luisa, who's studying. So if we're to think about which one these are for these different categories, if we look up here, the mother most likely is who? Maria. The father would then be Hector. The daughter, Luisa. The son, Carlos. The grandmother, Anna. And the grandfather, Juan. Okay? All right. Let's go to our next slide. So now I want you guys to listen to I want you to listen to this unit story. And in your books, you should be able to see on page 33 this exercise. So we're actually going to go ahead and do this exercise right now. In order to do that, I need you guys to go ahead and listen. Now, if you do not have a copy of the book, just go ahead and write each number down. So number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6. You should be able to see these images really well because I sent them to you. So you should be able to expand them on your phone. Look at the images really well if you haven't already printed them. And let's go ahead and listen to the exercise, okay?
Unit 3, Friends and Family. Page 33, exercises 2A and 2B. Track 28. Conversation A.
Hello?
Hi, Louisa. This is Mrs. Brown. Is your grandmother home?
Yes, she is. She's watching TV.
Can I talk to her?
Sure. Just a minute.
Conversation B.
Hello? Hi. Carlos? This is Mr. Cho. Is your father home? Yes, he is, but he's sleeping right now. Oh, I'm sorry. I can call again later. Okay, thanks.
Conversation C.
Hello? Hi, Carlos. This is Mr. Ramos. Is your grandfather there? Yes, he is, but he's eating lunch right now.
Yes, he
Okay,
is.
I'll call him later. Thanks.
Conversation D.
Hello? Hi, this is Angela. Is your mother there? Yes, she is, but she's busy. She's cooking dinner. Oh, okay. I'll call back after dinner. Okay, thanks.
Conversation E.
Hello?
Hi, Carlos. This is Mary. Is your sister home?
She's here, but she's studying.
Oh, okay. Please ask her to call me later.
Sure, no problem.
Conversation F.
Hello? Hello. Is this Mrs. Gonzalez? Yes, it is. This is Dr. Smith's office. Is your husband home? Yes, he is. But he's resting. Oh, okay. Please ask him to call our office.
Okay, so we just listened to 6 conversations, and now we have to answer the question that these conversations pertain to, right? So I am just going to go through the answers with you guys until the next lesson. I'll have a better way for us to, for you to actually make an answer for these questions and be able to participate in that process a little bit better. But for now, conversation A. So we're going to talk about lesson A, 2A, and we already know that conversation A is number 4. Conversation B. Which one of these was conversation B? Okay, if you chose number 2, that's correct. Conversation B is number 2. What about conversation C? What do you have for conversation C? If you chose number 1, that is correct. What about conversation D? If you chose number 5, that is correct. Conversation E. If you chose number 3, that is correct. And conversation F would be number 6. Now, if we go down to this lesson B, lesson 2B, it's the same exact conversation, but now we're going to talk about who is calling, right? Who is the person calling? So number 1, Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown is the one who is calling. Number 2, who did you pick? We got 3 choices. The correct one, if you pick Mrs. Cho, that is the correct answer. Mrs. Cho is calling. For C, who is calling? If you picked Mr. Ramos, that is correct. What about D? For D, if you pick Angela, that is correct. E, E, if you picked Mary, that is correct. And F, F, if you picked Dr. Smith's office, that is the correct answer. Okay, so now what I want you guys to do, we're going to take a little break here, but before we break, I want you to, let's look down here and I want you to think about who lives with you, right? Who lives with you? Who's at home with you? Who is sheltering in place with you right now? Who is quarantining with you and staying safe with you? We've got my husband, my wife, my son, my daughter, my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. So go ahead and pick who's with you, and we're going to take a quick